Hi, my name is Rikki Ducornet. I'll be reading from TRAFIK, which is finalist for the 2021 Big Other Book Award and came out with Coffee House Press. Reading a section called Once More Mick Reflects Upon Being Mick. Mick is a robot and he's traveling with his astronautist friend, Quiver, and they're going through the galaxies on their way to a planet named TRAFIK. Mick has great existential issues with the fact that he is not really a person, but he is a robot. And that's what this little section is all about, Mick's existential difficulties. Okay, so once more, Mick reflects upon being Mick. Quiver's lover had been made to disappear. What does this mean exactly? Alone in his corner beside the humming ice maker, Mick attempts to get a handle on such losses. As in her hammock, Quiver deeply sleeps. He thinks that if he were more instinctive, he might understand Quiver better. Pensive, he considers his own detained erotic life, bewildered as always by his place in the physical world. A man of tin, as unforgettably he had once been called to his face. A man born of an abstraction, contrived, schematized, then printed in parts. Yet he is, to use Quiver's words, a thing of brute matter, an embodied abstraction of human thought, a complex whole gifted with a context and an identity. If he is not human, still he is human in so many ways. See how I suffer, he thinks. Is this not human, this suffering? And was Quiv's fascination for the virtual redhead any different from his own fascination with Al Pacino and his marvelous realms, his talismanic gizmos, his toaster, his blender? And if Al's faucets and the bellhop's buttons caused his central circuitry to spark, was this his fault? Had he not been programmed to receive, retain, and respond to the erratic, mutable, irresistible weather of human affectivity? Is he not, when gazing at Al's incomparable face, uplifted? Do not faces, toasters, brass buttons give off light? Is he not, as are so many living creatures, polyamorous? He thinks that if there is a word that describes him, he is not alone in the way he lives. For the first time in a very long while, he recalls his first encounter with a terrestrial music called the blues. He discovered that he was wired to something so much deeper than he had known possible. He reverberated to a voice as pure as the voice of a child, a bird, the wind, a voice that descended into the deepest waters, a sexed voice. Yes, this is what it must have been. That elusive weather, the sexed voice, repeating over and over again, "Come to me." And Mick had wanted more than he had ever wanted anything to go to him, whoever he was, this guy whose heart was in sync with his own core receptor coil. Mick imagined the singer was a guy in a suit, like the guys in what was once called the movies, a guy not all that young, yet loose and tight all at the same time, leaning nonchalantly against a streetlight on the back wall of some mysterious establishment, such as a bar, a speakeasy, some sort of personal amulet, a chibi chimney stack gracefully held between his lips, lost in reflection, lost in love, at ease and intact in his own integument in a way Mick could never quite comprehend. The guy is handsome, this Mick knew, but how and why? This dreamy guy was a movie star, something Mick fully appreciated when he first fell in love with the movies, fell in love with a treasure that, made of light, was impervious to the determinism of space and time. And how marvelous, how perfectly apt that the immortals who loitered, who loosened the knots of their ties, who eternally smoked those chibi smokestacks, assuring that those romantic urban nights were always overcast, were called stars. Al Pacino, he whispered to himself, alpaco lino, alpine piano, Al Pacino, who in an interview once said, "We weren't actors, we were lamps." Thank you.